Yeah, and
oh, now it's flat. Now it's flat.
Yeah.
Now he's not a Laker.
yeah. Well, he's when covering him with the Lakers, he's always. I mean, he's been on and off with his defense, and more often off. And it's if he puts the same effort he does offensively, which I can't. I mean, he can score. I mean, he can score the ball, but if he puts that same effort on the other end of the floor, he could be at least an efficient defender. And that's not in the strike against him. There's some players who just are not good defenders. Just don't have it physically. But you can, like I'm just saying, like for him, example, it's just you can tell that he's not ready for it. It doesn't look like he's ready. Yes, it's just one game, but it's just telling to see that the pressure is different. It's not. You're on the biggest stage of the NBA. These games right here are just every little play, every possession matters so much more, and you're going to need a lot more effort in production from your supporting cast. So a long answer for your question, but I think the Cavs can come away from that very encouraged by how they played, and coming away to mind frame, hey, we can play with these guys. We just got to be able to make smart decisions in key moments, in a close game.
Yo, so I just got a question. Who's stupider and who's more to blame? J.R. Smith or Tyronn Lue? Because these memes at J.R. Smith right now are killing me.
Yeah, the one where he looks like he's squinting. Those ones are forever.
There's like one where LeBron's looking at JR like, what are you doing? Why didn't you shoot? And then Tyronn Lue, they're saying, well, Tyronn should have. They had one timeout left. They should have caught that timeout. Like,
I think it's both of their faults, and I mean, I would think a player who's played that much in the playoffs and been in the NBA Finals for the last few years, I would think that he would be more aware of the situation, and given how much time was left. And, coaches constantly remind players, hey, this is how much we got left, how many timeouts we got left, how much time left to score. They constantly remind them. So it goes both ways.
It's J.R.
But I would
Smith,
tend to
though.
lean more towards JR, because you have I think regardless of there being enough time for a timeout, you should know, hey, as a miss, we got to put up a shot. Like, if it's a clean rebound, and he had LeBron there for a second, but if you don't see anybody like urging to call a timeout, even LeBron, you could say he didn't call it until he tried to call it until like less than a second left, and that's not even enough time for the rest to look at him and to realize he's shooting for a timeout. So it's a tough position to put any player in, but it just looks bad given LeBron's reaction. Like it's just even worse.
All right, and last question for me, who do you think has a better chance of being on the Lakers next year? J.R. Smith.
Oh, wow.
Wait. Carmelo Anthony. Or LiAngelo Ball.
Man, I don't think the Lakers have touched the first. I don't think they touched any of them with a 10-foot pole right now. But I think LiAngelo, just because of, I mean, I don't see it at all, and I've seen a lot of people say, hey, he's not even NBA talent. He's not even as tall as 6'5" as what he's listed. I mean, I think I saw Mike Bresnahan saying that he's more towards 6'2", which is the height that Mike Bresnahan is. And you can't be a small guard, and you can't be you have to be quick. But
you can't be an journalist.
The point is, I think the Lakers would the first two. I mean, I just don't see them. I mean, Carmelo had his chance a few years ago. JR, yeah, I mean he's regressed so much over this past this regular season, and
I think KB just broke down Plan Mayhem.
Yeah,
like if that's your big three, you guys are in trouble.
If you want to tank again, that's the perfect lineup for tanking.
Celtics would welcome it.
All right, man. So let me ask you this: like, just from the overall NBA perspective, do you think this game one was a success? Do you think it was entertaining to the casual fan? Do you think it was enjoyable? Like, because we've seen a lot of trash game ones. Like the last Eastern Conference, we could have just did without the first 3 games in both conferences. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I mean, they were blowouts. They weren't close games. I think this one definitely so, and for a lot of reasons. You can point to the tension that's already emerging from Tristan Thompson pushing the ball in Draymond Green's face because he was clapping after a foul was called on him, for kind of throwing his elbow at Sean Livingston's face or shooting the ball. And you got, it was a really close game throughout. It wasn't like, even when the Cavs were ahead, you just have the sense like, okay, Warriors are going to come back, make this, close game regardless. They're shooting, they can get hot. Third quarter is going to be their quarter. Like, you just have that sense. And, I'll give you a personal example. Like, I was watching this game right now, like, the middle of the third quarter, and I was watching it with my fiance, and she was really into it. And she doesn't watch basketball. So with her being into it, it just shows like how much attention it could attract.
Yeah.
So if it remains like this, which I hope so, regardless of which way it goes, I think this finals could obviously top last year's as far as ratings go and attention. Especially we have LeBron's future in the air. You got the Warriors. Just you don't know if they're the same team as the year before. They looked a little bit different against the Rockets where they weren't on, and there's a lot of storylines in this, and aside from what's happening on the court. So I think then these next 3 days there's going to be a lot of breaking down of this play here, this play there. LeBron's one more game closer to being having to make his free agency decision, and was it a little over a month now, so about a month from now. So or less than that. So there's a lot of stuff that they can take away from this, and this is what the NBA wants. It's, regardless of this being the 4th time in a row with these two teams were going to attract the most attention, the most eyes, because that they're the 2 franchises that are above everybody else in their conferences.
Let me ask you this though: why was LeBron sounding like he was already giving his exit speech this week?
Because he is.
You know what? I think the most telling quote for me was from his interview with Rachel Nichols, and him talking about his relationship with Dan Gilbert. Him saying that they have a working relationship, a great working relationship, and her asking him, that following up with, how is this going to impact your free agency decision? He said, who knows? Obviously he's playing a little bit into that, but there's got to be some to that. It's never been a great relationship, and you have that that bad look after they won the Eastern Conference Finals, where LeBron just basically gave him like a thank you, like a little okay, shake your hand, I gotta get to celebrate with my team. Like it wasn't an acknowledgement by any means. So there's something there, and I think he may not admit that he knows what he's gonna do. I think the only thing that he probably knows is that but I think he's leaning more and more towards leaving.
Yeah. And
him saying stuff like that, like, it shows that it's really, there is a lot of, credence to rumors. Like, it may not be, him going to the Lakers or Philly or the Rockets, but it sounds like he's seriously considering leaving. And, the roster that the Cavs have right now, they're locked down a lot of contracts. They have Tristan Thompson's contract, J.R. Smith's contract, Jordan Clarkson.
Kevin Love.
To name those. Kevin Love. Well, Kevin Love, I think he's not that bad of a player. But, again, that point being is that they have a lot of contracts they can't move. And, you would think, hey, we can move this guy. But there's not – I don't think they're going to get back what they want. They're not going to get
They're going to have to move the 8 pick.
Yeah, well, even then, I don't think it's high enough to garner, again, say a potential superstar back or a young player who become a superstar. It's the situation, the way that it's unfolded. Them not getting the first pick, which was going to be hard to land regardless. But there's a lot of things that are not working in their favor right now. yes, he's made it to a 4 straight NBA Finals, which is impressive. Regardless if they win or lose.
I mean, we've seen him leave after conference finals before, so
I don't even blame him.
Yeah. I mean, it just there's a lot to it, and once this finals ends, whenever it may be, in the next week or so, next couple weeks, it's just going to be LeBron watch. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Like, where is he going to go? Where is he leaning? A bunch of reports, a bunch of talk. It's just going to be. Regardless if he's staying or not, it's going to be the focus on him because, he's the best basketball player in the world right now. And, wherever he goes, he's going to make that team into a title contender. He's that great of a player. And, I think his future is, up in the air, but I think he's heavily leaning towards leaving.
All right, man. Last question. We got to ask you. You're a Rams fan. We had a Rams guest earlier. We didn't get to ask this. When is Aaron Donald going to get paid?
You know what?
Why hasn't it got done?
And who's better?
I don't think
Torrey Holt or
who's better?
Who's better, Torrey Holt or Isaac Bruce?
Oh man, that's a good question too. I'll answer both questions. But let me. As far as Aaron Donald first. His contract situation is I just don't see why it's taking this long because you have. I believe there might be a little bit.
He sets the market.
He
is the market.
If he hits the market, he's getting whatever deal he wants from whatever team.
Exactly.
He's gonna get that max, contract as whatever paying him the most, being the highest paid player defensively. He's gonna get that if he hits the free agent market next summer or next offseason in general. He's gonna get it, and I don't see why the Rams are hesitating. He's done nothing but, I think, exceed expectations that were, set forth, ahead of him. And, he's been, 3-time first, for all first team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, Defensive Player of the Year. He's got, I think he leads, since he's entered the league, he leads the league's in sacks for defensive tackles. There's a lot of crazy numbers, but, he's I just don't know why it's taking so long. I want to say he's going to get done at some point. And then, you have also other contract situations, and you have Brandon Cooks. You want to keep him, and you got LaMarcus Joyner. You got his extension date on the July 16th coming up. Like, there's a lot to think about. I think I would hope they're going to get it done, at some point before the season starts because, you need him in there. And him there next to Sue, I just see it being a matchup nightmare for any offensive line. And as far as Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce, oh man, I think Torrey was more. Man, they're both great. It's really hard. I think Isaac Bruce has had more longevity as far as how long he was great. Don't get me wrong, Torrey Holt was, he was one of the best receivers in the league, one of the best possession receivers, big play receivers. He was. I think he was a little bit underappreciated, as well as Torrey. I mean, as well as Isaac Bruce. Like they brought it every year. You knew what you're going to get for them year in year out. I would say a little bit leaning towards Isaac. I mean, I would take both, but just having to choose one, I think Isaac Bruce because
Bruce
did it longer. And yeah, he had the classic chant. I mean, come on! Every time
say the chant with me, Bruce, Bruce. Exactly.
All right, man. Real quick, let people know where they can follow you, find you, all that stuff. You know how it goes. Plug it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, as always, you can find me on Clutchpoints, clutchpoints.com, and then you can find me on Twitter at bgarciaiv, the fourth, bgarciaiv sports on Twitter. I just saw a tweet right now from JR Smith. There's a fake one that says, "Someone please tell me the score." So anyways, you can find me on there. So those are 2 spots I'm at right now. And Sports Out West, obviously, once the Lakers stuff starts picking up, then I would be more on it and give more, my take on certain things, and hopefully it's, a lot of movement. But anyways, you can find me at those 2 spots, mainly right now at Clutchpoints for NBA and NFL stuff.
All right, Bob. We always appreciate you calling in, man. Have a good night. Stay safe.
Definitely.
Keep grinding.
Definitely. Well, of course, every day. That's the goal.